Welcome to another question and answer session. Today the question is a strange question. Can love be explained through science or psychology? Can love be explained through science or psychology? Love is not some theory to explain away. It is an intense emotion, and more than an emotion, compassion, empathy, everything, physical attraction, everything mixed together. Of course, some people have tried to explain through psychology and philosophy. And spirituality and religion talks about divine love in a different plane. Love is beyond words and emotions and is not directed towards one person in a broader sense. It's not about a love between just a man and a woman. It's more than that. About the people who are living along with you in this world, other living things, the nature, the trees, everything. Love is when there are no words, no memory, no past. Love is not an attachment. Anyway, we will see what the philosophers and scientists have tried to do, how they have tried to explain, and the real meaning of love from J.Krishnamurti and Osho also we will see in this episode. First is about compassionate and passionate love by Very Well Mind, written by Kendra. I'll quote a few lines from this article. Compassionate love is characterized by mutual respect, attachment, affection, and trust. So compassionate love is characterized by mutual respect, attachment, affection, and trust. Compassionate love usually develops out of feelings of mutual understanding and a shared respect for one another. So there is a mutual understanding and a shared respect. This is compassionate love. And there is passionate love. Passionate love is characterized by intense emotions, sexual attraction, anxiety, and affection. When these intense emotions are reciprocated, people feel elated and fulfilled. Unreciprocated love leads to feelings of despondency and despair. Unreciprocated love leads to feelings of despondency and despair. Hatfield suggests that passionate love is transitory, usually lasting between 6 and 13 months. So these people have studied it scientifically, and they suggest this passionate love does not last long. It lasts only between 6 and 13 months. Next we will see Psychology of Love by Sigmund Freud. Contributions to the Psychology of Love, that is the article. From that, by Sigmund Freud, a leading psychotherapist and in psychoanalyst. So we'll see a few lines from this. In normal love between the sexes, the value of the woman is measured according to her sexual integrity and syncs with any approach to the character of a like woman. It seems to be a striking departure from the normal. Therefore, that men of this type should set highest value upon women of this character as their love objects. Their love relationships with such women absorb the whole of their mental energy to the exclusion of all other interests. Such women are the only ones it is possible to love, and the ideal of the lover's own fidelity is invariably set up again, however often it may be shattered in reality. A high degree of compulsion, which indeed in some measure characterizes every case of passionate love, is clearly discernible in these features of love relationships described. Second condition is perhaps the less constant one, but it is no less remarkable. The type I am speaking of is only built upon two conditions in combination. The first condition also seems to occur very frequently by itself. The second condition is thus constituted a virtuous and reputable woman never possesses the charm required to exalt her to an object of love. This attraction is exercised only by one who is more or less sexually discredited, whose fidelity and loyalty admit of some doubt. The first of these conditions of love must be described as quite specific. Wherever one discovers it, one may look out for the presence of other features belonging to the type. It may be termed the need for an injured third party. Its effect is the person in question never chooses an object of love, a woman who is unattached, that is, a girl or independent woman, but only one in regard to whom another man has some right of possession. Whether as husband, betrothed, or near friend. In some cases, this condition is so peremptory that a given woman can be ignored or even treated with contempt so long as she belongs to no other man, but instantly becomes the object of feelings of love as soon as she comes into a relationship of some kind described with another woman. So this is Freud categorized. He categorizes into three different objects of love as women. But all these are theories. What we have seen is some kind of theories which in some incidents may be true about the relationships. The word love is something more. The love is not an attachment. Here all the descriptions belong to attachments. So we will see what really by love is meant. First, from J.Krishnamurti's talks and dialogues in Saanen in 1968. From that we will see a few lines. Life is a movement, an endless movement, without a beginning and without an end. And we have broken it into past, present and the future, as living and dying, as well as breaking it up into love and hate, into nationalities. And we are asking, is there a way of life, not ideologically, but actually every minute of daily life, in which there is no contradiction, no opposition, no fragmentation, in the very living of which is complete action? Have you ever considered what love is? Is it torture? It may be beautiful at the beginning when you tell someone that I love you, but it soon deteriorates into every form of cunning, possessive and dominating relationships. Here he is trying to say, like, the fact is, we tell someone I love you and we feel exalted, everybody is happy, both the parties are happy. But soon this relationship deteriorates into hate, jealousy and possession, and anxiety and fear are the result. Such love is pleasure and desire, pleasure of sex and the urge of desire maintained by thought chewing over that particular pleasure day after day, That is what we call love. The love of the country, the love of God, the love of fellow man, all that means absolutely nothing. It is just ideas. When we talk about the love of the neighbor in the church or in the temple, we do not really mean it. We are hypocrites for on Monday morning we destroy our neighbor in business through competition by wanting a better position, more power, and so on and on and on. Love of the particular in the family and love of the man outside that circle as possessiveness, possessing my wife, my husband, my child, dominating them. Or I let them go because I am too occupied. I have business, I have other interests, I have God knows what else. So there is no home. Yet when there is a home, there is this constant battle of possessiveness, domination, fear, jealousy, trying to fulfill oneself through the family, through sex. All these phenomena we call love. I don't think we are exaggerating. We are merely stating the fact. The thing is, what J.Krishnamurti says, we say we are in love, we love everyone, we love in religion, they teach you that love your neighbor, and we say, yeah, I love my neighbor, but we really don't do that. It's all merely words for us. We destroy our neighbors through competition in business or status. And our love of our family degenerates into jealousy and possession and merely pleasure seeking. So it deteriorates. We may not like it, J.Krishnamurti continues, but it is there. In that love again is the right and wrong action, which again breeds various forms of conflict. It is all that love, that which we accept as love, that which has become part of our nature. We distinctly, instinctively cover up the structure, but when you look at it objectively, very earnestly, with clear eyes, is that love? Obviously it is not. And being caught in the behavior pattern set by ourselves, we cannot break away. We do not know what to end, and hence there is conflict between the right love and the wrong love, between what should be and what else. So what we end up, we are caught in this act of pleasure seeking, conflict created by jealousy, fear, and possessiveness. We are caught in this pattern and we don't know how to get out of it. Then we introduce the morality to justify this. The morality of the structure is really immoral, and knowing that we create another ideology, therefore conflict in opposing immorality. So what is love? Not your opinion, not your conclusion, not what you think about it, who cares what is thought about it. You can only find out what is when you completely get rid of the structure of jealousy and domination, hate, envy, and the desire to possess the structure of pleasure. So what J.Krishnamurti says, once you understand that you should get rid of this structure of pleasure which creates jealousy, domination, and hate and envy, then only you will understand pleasure is something that has to be gone into. We are not saying that pleasure is wrong or right, but which again would lead us to conclusions, therefore oppositions. But for most of us, love is associated, is closely knit with pleasure, sexual or other forms of pleasure. And if love is pleasure, then love is pain. Is that love? When there is pleasure, there is pain. So if you are saying love is pleasure, then love is going to be pain also. That's what he says. Logically, there is not it. If we go on with it day after day, can we break away from this structure, this tradition, the thing in which we are caught and find out or come upon the state of love, which is none of it. It is beyond, outside the tent. It is not within the tent, within ourselves. Is a life possible in which the very living is the beauty of action and love? Without love, there is always the right and wrong action, breeding conflict, contradiction, and opposition. There is only one action that comes out of love. There is no other action. There is no other action which never contradicts, never breeds conflict. Love is both aggressive and non-aggressive. Do not misunderstand it. Love is not something pacifist. Right down somewhere in the cellar, up in heaven, when you love, you have vitality, drive, intensity, and immediacy of action. So it is possible for us human beings to be involved in the beauty of action, which is love. So is beauty pleasure? When there is self-expression in any form, does it convey any beauty? And is love pleasure? Love, which is now almost become synonymous with sex and its expression and all that is involved in it, self-forgetfulness and so on, is love. When thought derives intense pleasure from it, love. When it is thwarted, it becomes jealousy, anger, or hatred. Pleasure entails domination, possession, dependence, and therefore fear. Pleasure entails domination, possession, dependence, and therefore fear. So one asks oneself, is love pleasure? Is love desire in all its subtle forms, sexual as companionship, tenderness, and that self-forgetfulness? Is that love? If it is not, then what is love? So what J.Krishnamurti in essence says is, we are pleasure-seeking. We equate love with sex and intense pleasure. But this creates only possessiveness, which creates jealousy, attachment, and hatred. We call this love. But love is not this. Love is not brought about by thought. It is much more than that. When there is no attachment, when there is no pleasure seeking. Pleasure is not right or wrong, but any pleasure brings out pain. If you equate pleasure with love, then love becomes pain also. That's what J.Krishnamurti explains. Next, we will see a few lines from Osho from the book Sufis, the People of Path, Volume 2. And this second kind of love will have one more difference. In the first kind of love, the object oriented, there will be many lovers surrounding the object, and there will be fear. The second kind of love, there will be no fear, and you will be free not to bestow your love only your beloved. You will be free to bestow your love on others too. The first, the object will be one, and many will be the lovers. And in the second, subject will be one, and it will be flowing in many directions, bestowing its love on many people, because the more you love, the more love grows. If you love one person naturally, your love is not very rich. If you love two, it is doubly rich. If you love many, or if you love the whole humanity, or you can love even the animal kingdom, or you can love even the trees, the vegetable kingdom, then your love goes on growing. As your love grows, you grow and you expand. The real expansion of consciousness. Drugs only give you a false idea of expansion. Love is the basic ultimate drug that gives you the real expansion. And there is possibility. All that Schweitzer said, reverence for life. All that lives have to be loved. Movavi in India has said the same thing. His philosophy of ahimsa, non-violence, says love all that lives. But one man, one contemporary in America, Bhakti, has gone up even one step further than Movavi and Schweitzer. He says, have reverence for things too. That is ultimate in love. You don't only love that which lives. You love even that one else. You love the child. You love the pillars. You love things too, because they are all also there. They also have a kind of being. When one has come to this point, that you love the whole existence, irrespective of what is, that love becomes unconditional. It is turning into prayer. It is becoming a meditation. The first love is good in the sense that if you have lived a loveless life, it is better than no love. But the second love is far better than the first, and will have less anxiety, less anguish, less turmoil, conflict, aggression, violence. Second kind of love will be more of a love than the first kind. It will be more pure. In the first, lust is too much and spoils the whole name. And even the second love is not the last. There is love, free, when subject and object disappear. So Osho has characterized first one into the love which is pleasure seeking. Then the second one as a compassionate love, love for all human beings, all living things, and even the inanimate objects. And now he talks about the third kind of love, which is in which the subject or object disappears. The lover and the loved both disappear into one. There is a union. That's what he is describing as the third love. The first, the object is important. The second, subject is important. The first means pleasure seeking. The beautiful or handsome person, partner is important. In the second one, you are important because you are the one who are giving out love. There is still an importance to the subject. First is object oriented, second is subject oriented, and the third one is transcendence. One is neither the subject nor an object. One is not dividing reality in any way, subject, object, knower, known, lover, loved. All the division has disappeared. One is simply, there is simply a love, a state of love. Up to the second, you are a lover. When you are a lover, something will hang around you like a boundary with a definition. With the third, the definition disappears. There is only love. You are not. That is what Jesus means when he says God is love, love free. If you misunderstand first, you will never be able to interpret rightly what Jesus means. It is not even the second, it is the third. God is love. It is not that one loves, it is not an act, it is one's own very quality. I think Osho explains it clearly, that three kinds of love. One is object oriented, your love for a beautiful or a handsome person, whether extraphysically or mentally, you are attracted towards that person. That person is becomes important. That is object oriented. Second is subject oriented, where you express your love towards others, maybe a person, many persons, all living beings, and even in a broader sense, animate and inanimate things. The third kind is transcendence, where the subject-object disappears and there is only love. There is no lover or the love. There is no subject or object. That is what the real love is. So J.Krishnamurti put it in different words and Osho puts it in different words. J.Krishnamurti says, when you are seeking, when there is a seeker, then there is thought, there is memory, there is pleasure seeking, which brings about hatred. jealousy, and attachment. So that is not love. What is not love, he has negated. So here Osho describes it, tries to at least describe it, which is transcendental. When the subject of it disappears, then there is only love. So this is how the scientists, psychologists have defined love. But ultimately, love is explained clearly by J.Krishnamurti and Osho. Hope this answers the questioner who has wanted a description of love. With this, we are ending this episode. Stay with me for another episode. Subscribe to my channel, share this video. Thank you.